Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
As mentioned, my name is Will, and I've been coming here for about a year now. I think the first time I came was in April 28th of last year, so we're hitting that 1 year mark. So I could spend the next 2 hours talking about my life and how I got to know Christ and what it means to follow Christ, but fortunately I got it down in a 5-minute nutshell. So I come from some very difficult circumstances growing up. I was a victim of every type of trauma and every type of abuse. And when somebody is heavily broken like I was, you turn to false idols to try to cope. And for me, it was the streets. I'm originally from New York City. My dad is from Harlem. My mom is from Brooklyn. And I'm a product of the old Times Square. I don't know if there's any old-time New Yorkers in the house, but the 1970s and 80s in New York and Times Square was off the hook. It was anything goes. If you wanted to sell drugs, you could sell drugs. If you wanted to sell stolen merchandise, you could sell stolen merchandise. If you wanted to find a legal gambling den, it wasn't too hard to find. They were right there. Now, I've been out of New York for at least 25 years now, but the thing that still makes my blood boil, still breaks my heart, now that I'm living a good life, is seeing the human trafficking, the prevalence of people who are sexually broken. In every major city, including New York and including in Baltimore, there's a lot of human trafficking. There's a lot of girls from South America, some of these poor countries from South America and from Asia, promised a better life if you sell your body. And of all the things I saw in Times Square, that has broken my heart the most and has had an impact on me the most 25 years later. But at that time, I was caught up in a lot of the street mess, and I was living with no hope. And in February of 2000, I was living with my cousin in the Bronx, and she met this dude, and the dude moved into the apartment. And under normal circumstances, the apartment was not livable for 3 adults. It was just too small. And I had reached a crossroads in my life. My life was in pure shambles. I was $50 away from sleeping on the subway. I was angry at the world. I was angry at my family. And if I was to be honest, I was very angry at God. I also knew that if I didn't leave New York soon, one or two things would have happened. One, I would have gotten locked up, or two, wind up dead. These fragile relationships with the corner boys and the street guys are all based on convenience and money. And if one of those things go wrong, you can find yourself in a lot of trouble. So one day in February of 2000, I was walking down 36th and 5th Avenue. And for the first time in my life, I had felt the presence of God. And I felt like God was saying to me, Will, I know you're broken. I know you're tired. I know you're wounded. But if you take my hand, I'll give you a brand new life. So I took his hand. Shortly thereafter, I left New York, and I began to address the issues that I was running away from. I moved down here to Baltimore, and miraculously, I got accepted to go into law school at the University of Maryland in downtown. And more miraculously, I wound up somehow passing the bar, which is a story in itself. In my practice for the last few years, I've had a lot of opportunities to help people. As a person of color, I've had a lot of opportunities to help other black males in the city who don't have father figures. And I can assure you that the streets of Baltimore is just as enticing as the streets of New York City. Every once in a while, somebody from the sex industry who's trapped in that type of lifestyle will come into our office looking for some type of help. And even if I can't help them personally, God has given me the opportunity to pray for them secretly. And as I get ready to close, in order to follow Jesus, or to follow Jesus, it's reassuring that he will meet you anywhere. Some of you have met him in this church. Some of you have met him at home. Some of you have met him on the job. Some of you have met him during some very difficult seasons in your life. Perhaps it was after a divorce. Perhaps it was on your sick bed. Perhaps, God forbid, it was after the loss of a child. And Jesus will also meet you in some of the most difficult places in your life. Perhaps it's a subway cart, a New York City subway cart at 3 a.m., or a homeless shelter, or a drug rehab center, or a seedy motel, or a prison, or a mental hospital, or a tough midtown Manhattan corner like he met me.